Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back with your daily crypto news and analysis, and today we're going to be talking about Ripple and XRP. So sit back, relax, and before we fully jump on into this video, I do just want to ask guys to please leave a like on this video. It does help the channel grow immensely, and of course I always do greatly appreciate that. And if you do find any of the information in this video valuable, useful, or interesting in any sort of way possible, definitely hit that subscribe button and turn notifications on to never miss a future update. So with that being said, of course, we're going to be talking about Bitcoin. We do see Bitcoin dominance around, the 42% mark, and of course, Bitcoin itself around like the 40K mark. And of course, a lot of altcoins making some major moves today. For an example, XRP up 12%, Luna up almost 13%, even Polkadot up almost 14%. And this has been, the clear altcoin market to a T. I mean, a lot of price movement, of course, with Bitcoin having that nice rebounds. If we are talking about Bitcoin, I told you guys to watch that 40K level yesterday, specifically almost like 39.6K. We have yet to officially break and hold over that level yet. I am watching that level closely. We do still need a lot of volume. The weekend is here, so of course, with the weekend here, I'm kind of going to step away a little bit from the charts, not look at them too much because the indices are not open over the weekend, and the indices are a strong indicator on things that will or may not happen, if you will. It kind of prints a better picture for us. Major indices did close a little bit green. Dow Jones up 100 or 834 points. The S&P 500 up 95.95 points, and of course the Nasdaq up 221. But the Dow Jones was what surprised me the most, with a nice strong rally on it. So I'm definitely going to be watching these major three on Monday. We also do know that Monday is, of course, the monthly candle close, with Sunday being the weekly candle close. So a lot of things to be expected in terms of price action. We will be seeing some volatile rides. The main thing that I'm watching for on Bitcoin, so let me hide this fib level because I do know that this is probably a little bit confusing for those individuals out there. But if we are talking about a nice rally, if we do see a rally on Bitcoin, what I really kind of want to see is like us regaining this major level up here, which is like around 45.2K. It's more so not even that level. It's actually a little bit lower than that at about like 44.5K, almost 44.6K. This is where I do see a lot more strength in Bitcoin. We could actually kind of look at this. So the main reason why I say a break over, for an example, 45.8K is this is a lot of resistance going back to pretty much September 12th and 13th. Of course, this is the level that I'm watching for us to actually break over and possibly get back to the 54 to 56K level. But of course, the major indices will be, like I said, a clearer picture for us on Monday. So that is what I'm watching for, of course. But, if we don't have this nice breakout event, maybe we have a rejection. I'm watching for a retest of the 702 and see if that holds at about 36.8K. So watch 36.8K closely if we do have a solid rejection. Now, I do want to talk to you guys about the macro view on Bitcoin. Then we're going to talk about some catalyst events, and then we're going to talk a little bit more about XRP. So if you guys do want to skip this part, you guys are more than welcome to. But I'm going to jump in here and talk to you guys a little bit about the macro view. And this is coming from Tech Dev's perspective on this. But we do see here, despite larger market cap, bigger players, and different supply dynamics, I still see consistent impulsive and corrective patterns over Bitcoin's history. Those factors, among others, likely contribute to the lengthening of these patterns. Now, of course, this is the lengthening cycle that we've been talking about. Of course, here's that 2020 or 2020, I should say, structure starting, and here we are back in, of course, 2022 currently, which could possibly lead us all the way to almost 2023, with our topping point being around the similar aspect of like 2017, 2018, if you will. But if we do repeat the same pattern, we will be at around like 100 to almost $300,000 in terms of Bitcoin's price, which I know that I've always said that my target points for Bitcoin are a lot lower than that. It all really depends on where we kind of go from here, but we do see the topping point on a lot of these are around like the middle to like 100,000 to almost roughly 280,000, if you will. But this is going off of the repeated patterns in the past, going back to like 2013, 2014, and 2017 and 2018's bull run. So, of course, I'm watching the macro views here. I'm not too worried about, of course, the micro views on Bitcoin or, on any of my altcoin holdings. And now let's talk about the catalyst events that could push Bitcoin to some of these numbers. First off, Russian financiers should turn to crypto to circumvent sanctions, industry experts say. Now, when we're talking about those sanctions, a lot of individuals I've been seeing, kind of saying, hey, this is the collapse of Swift. Swift is done. XRP is going to step in. And I actually want to talk to you guys a little bit about that in this video, actually, because I do see a very, very daunting amount of those comments, and I really kind of want to address that in this video as well. But I definitely do think that the use of cryptocurrencies is going to continue to thrive. I'm not 100% sure if it is going to be the idea on, hey, Russia is going to turn to crypto because we are going to invoke sanctions, if you will. I don't think that that is the case. I really don't think that we will allow it, if you will. I mean, of course, we can't really control that. It is, at the end of the day, decentralized. But we have to watch and see if this actually does happen, or if, what will unfold realistically speaking from the situation. Of course, I'm not going to speak too much on that because it is kind of speculation, if you will. But we do see here Justin, world's largest custodian bank, BNY Mellon, to allow institutional clients to hold Bitcoin and Ethereum. According to a report from City AM, BNY Mellon's new product will launch initially in the U.S. later this year. I do think that this is going to be pretty big, especially from BNY Mellon. We know is a significant bank. Also, we do see our giant Japanese e-commerce retailer Rakuten launches an NFT marketplace. The firm is looking to capitalize on growing NFTs adoption in Japan. The marketplace hosts a platform that allows IP owners to create their own websites for issuing and selling NFTs. Again, we're seeing a lot of NFT adoption. We're seeing a lot of crypto adoption as well. We even see her breaking Japan's biggest bank, Mitsubishi UFG, to launch its own crypto and NFT wallet. The bank announced the development of a digital asset wallet on its website on February 21st. And here you guys have a little bit of a preview of this. This could get pretty interesting very fast, but a lot of this, you got to remember, is all based around NFTs. We know that the NFT market, accounts for almost like 1%, if you will, of the market cap valuation of crypto. But this, scene has been growing and growing and growing in popularity, lately, with, vast populations moving in on NFTs in general. So pay attention to that. Now, I do want to talk to you guys about Ripple and, of course, the sanctions and a lot of the plans behind these sanctions, if you will. So we do see the Digital Euro Association talking more so about XRP Ledger. How does the XRP Ledger of Ripple's real-time gross settlement system, currency exchange, and remittance network actually work? And they actually posted this video. The funny thing about this is that when we're talking about XRP and we're talking about even Ripple, right? I just made a video yesterday on XRP and why XRP will most likely be utilized with all, of course, RippleNet products, or clients that are utilizing those products, if you will. It's because XRP allows them to save drastically an increased percentage on fees, allows for a lot more speed and scalability options, etc. But this, in my opinion, is a clear idea on, first off, Ripple will have a huge hand in the digital euro scene, similar to, of course, the digital pound scene. Funny thing about the digital euro is the fact that when we're talking about Quant Network, right? We know that they are utilizing Quant Network because, of course, interoperability, but we do see Ripple being a supporting member, which, of course, is clear to us. But the funny thing is that they are posting more so about, a digital euro and pretty much the plans behind this. They're talking about stable coins as well. They're talking about, e-money, if you will. This is digital money, shaping the future of digital money. And when we're talking even about the Digital Pound Foundation, we know that the Digital Pound Foundation is working with the Digital Euro Association, kind of sharing their insights on things that they're building. For example, you can really kind of see some of the projects that the Digital Euro Association is working on. Currently, right now, they don't have any, but we do know that they have been, posting a lot about some events. Like, for example, we've seen this webinar. This goes back to February 10th. Of course, we do see a Ripple employee or participant, I should say, being labeled here. This is all talking about the future of money. This is talking about the future of payments in terms of a DOT space, CBDCs as well. How will a CBDC basically be, running, if you will? How will it be pretty much released, what will be launched on. When we're talking about ledger technology, DLTs will definitely play a big key role here. And of course, some big players are, working with the Digital Euro Association already. Like, for example, here's Citibank. And the ties get stronger and stronger, but of course, Quant will also play a big role in this. I've mentioned that as well. But when we're talking about Ripple, Ripple has ties to many CBDCs already. We know that CBDCs are already kind of launching on the ledger, aka XRP ledger, right? Utilizing that private ledger technology to allow for central banks to have control over their currency, if you will, similar to how a bank, has control over currency currently, or I should say central banks. This is going to give, of course, banks the control over that currency, but also allow it to be a digital currency, if that makes sense. But also, even the IMF is posting about this as well. How will central banks issue and circulate digital currencies? Our new fintech analysis looks at 3 models, and here we have unilateral CBDC, intermediated CBDC or CBDCs, and then we also have synthetic CBDC. Now, all of this still doesn't show us how they will basically issue these. It kind of shows us a little bit on, the operating models, if you will, but not how to issue them fully. In my opinion, when we're talking about this, okay, CBDCs will have to be issued on a ledger technology. The only reason why I say that, and a lot of people are probably, scratching their heads saying, well, why would it have to be? Well, it's fairly simple, okay? We already have the interoperability layers intact. Quant has already built this out fully. You can't launch a CBDC on anything other than a ledger technology because it won't have the efficiencies of a digital currency. Without those efficiencies, it's basically like, utilizing the US dollar in a digital way, but you're still paying astronomical fees in Bitcoin sort of network, if you will. A ledger technology, if you're launching a CBDC on any sort of ledger, issuing it, if you will, on any sort of ledger, it's going to utilize that ledger's efficiencies. AKA, if I launched a CBDC on Hedera Hashgraph's ledger, right? I will be utilizing HBAR's efficiencies and their standards. Same with this, right? This is where we're talking about where will these CBDCs be issued. It's a ledger. It's not going to be just XRP. I've always said that it's not going to always just be XRP. XRP is just not the only player here. But with all of this in mind, we are talking more so about international payments and things like this. And we are now seeing, of course, sanctioned Russian banks face international payment problems. This is an issue. Now, of course, I'm not in support of Russia. I'm not in support of anything. I'm actually just kind of neutral here. But of course, we are seeing a lot of problems arise. But I do think that this is going to streamline the idea on, first off, one, it's going to streamline the idea of crypto adoption, crypto regulation. I think that we're going to see a major growing impact in those areas. We're also seeing, possible freezing of bank accounts and stuff like that. Honestly, when we're talking about these sanctions and we're talking about, a lot of issues that are arising, I think it leads us back to the main thing, and that is, of course, a disconnection from SWIFT. And I'm not saying that I'm in support of Russia doing this or I'm in support of anybody doing this. I'm just saying if we do start to see these nations disconnect from SWIFT, some sort of network will have to thrive. Some sort of, major player will have to be utilized. And it's not about adoption. It's not about, hey, look at my, currency is doing the best. No. In these abysmal times, I don't want to just focus on, hey, my currency is going to be adopted, so it's going to be, astronomically increasing in price. I'm going to be rich. No, I don't care about that. What I care about is seeing, these events lead to some sort of positive thing. Okay? And when we're talking about this, if we're talking about, these Russian banks sort of moving away from, of course, a U.S.-dominated SWIFT network and moving to some sort of other network to be utilized, I do believe that we will start to see a lot more nations pulling out of, of course, a U.S.-dominated system and moving towards some sort of other, network. For example, I've always talked to you guys a little bit about Volante Technologies. you guys don't know about Volante, definitely do some research on them. They're very significant, 100 plus customers in over 35 countries. Also, these are some big players: Citi, First American Trust, Tab Bank. These have some big players, even BNY Mellon, right? But the funny thing about Volante is that they are already working with Ripple. Okay, they already have this, document. I've talked to you guys a little bit about this document in the past. The Volpay Ripple processor module speeds integration to the Ripple global settlement network. Of course, Volante's Volpay Ripple processor module simplifies the connection to Ripple's near-time, real-time, payment and settlement system. The funny thing about this is, again, when we're talking about a network to really kind of take over and thrive, I think it all starts with the collapse of a US dominated system. And I'm not saying that, of course, all of this is positive or anything like that. I'm just saying, we are starting to see the collapse of a US dominated system. And what comes next is, of course, a network that will have to be utilized that is going to allow for a lot more efficiencies within, of course, the banking and corporate scene, but also allow for a lot of, I would say it would be a lot more savings for those individuals utilizing this network. I mean, this goes for, P2P payments, B2B payments as well. Overall, when we're talking about this cross-border payment scene and we're talking about things that are happening right now in the world, I think that the Ripple network is perfect for not only these nations, but for any individual out there that wants to make cross-border payments or just payments in general. But of course, with the rise of CBDCs and digital money, it's clear to me, and it's evidently clear to a lot of individuals out there that are also in the space and doing their research, that we need some sort of major network that is not SWIFT. We know SWIFT is extremely old, it's ancient, and it's inefficient when we're talking about, failed payments, we're talking about, payment fees. Overall, at the end of the day, we need better. We need to focus on the next best thing, if you will. And the bigger picture here is printing to me that DLTs will play a huge role, but what asset, what company already has major connections already? It is Ripple. Ripple has been doing incredible things lately, and of course, its connections with even, the Digital Euro Association, the Digital Pound Foundation. We've been seeing Ripple. I would say that they've been dominating the digital, currency scene. I mean, they've been doing update after update after update on top of innovations on the network as well. Like, we're talking more so about the NFT side of things on the XRP ledger, but they have been killing the partnerships lately. They've been working with some high tier names, and this all leads me back to, of course, hey, what currency is going to be utilized at mass scale? And it really is coming back down to XRP. And I'm not saying that XRP is going to be the only true winner here. No, absolutely not. I just think that XRP is well positioned to become a clear cut and dry winner in this market when we're talking about a current SEC lawsuit, while it's continuing to build out its massive payment network. So with that being said, of course, I hope that you all enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, to notifications on. If you guys want more free content, you guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. As always, I hope that you all have a beautiful day or a beautiful night wherever you guys are in this beautiful world. This has been Nick. Peace out, guys.